Live, local, late breaking. This is WNBF News at 11.
Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Madison Martin in
for Eric Weisfeld this evening, and we are going to start seeing some even colder weather. Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold is walking us through those temperatures in his certified most accurate forecast. Jamie.
And yeah, we're seeing those showers we had earlier this evening now well offshore, much drier and much colder air beginning to move in. There's that wet weather now out over the Atlantic. Skies have completely cleared. We're going to stay clear as we head through the rest of the night tonight towards daybreak tomorrow morning, but clear and cold. 32 in Conway, Florence, Marion, 31 as we take you into Hartsville and Laurinburg, 34 for Myrtle Beach, 33 tomorrow in North Myrtle. Not much frost, although a little bit will be possible thanks to a breeze. It's going to be continuing to blow overnight tonight, 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's going to send those wind chills at times down to the upper 20s by tomorrow morning, and not a whole lot better tomorrow afternoon. We keep it on the chilly side despite bright sunshine. Temperatures only climbing their way into the upper 40s for tomorrow. Out there tonight with those clear skies, temperatures falling fast, sitting at 41 right now, but that northwesterly wind at 14 miles per hour already knocking the wind chill down into the 30s. I'll let you know when those temperatures start to warm back up coming up in my full forecast.
Horry County schools will not be participating in the state's COVID-19 rapid test program. The school board made that decision earlier tonight. Governor Henry McMaster signed an executive order just before Thanksgiving that authorized the state to distribute more than 200,000 kits to public schools. Horry County Schools is one of 8 districts statewide not participating in the program. Florence School District 3 and Darlington County Schools are still deciding if they will participate. 46 districts statewide say they will use the rapid test kit. That includes Florence School Districts 1, 2, 4, and 5. And WNBF News reporter Jennifer Roberts was at the meeting when Horry County Schools discussed these test kits tonight. She's joining us live outside the district office. Jennifer, why doesn't the district want to use this COVID testing for their staff and students?
Meredith, during the Board of Education meeting, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Rick Matsey said that COVID-19 rapid testing would be too much of a burden right now for the district, particularly for those nurses inside of the schools.
It was pretty well unanimous that nobody knew the governor was going to do this. I don't think he really ask any of the schools about it.
Horry County schools say they were originally in support of rapid testing, but things changed after the district reviewed what would be required by the State Department of Education and DHEC to use the rapid result testing. Dr. Matsey says part of the issue, the rapid testing can't be conducted in the health room, which he says will create a trickle-down effect on the nurses' time and resources.
Our nurses who are in the health room would have to stop what they're doing and then fully suit up, wear a face shield, surgical mask, full-length surgical gown and gloves to go conduct this test. And she is waiting in the room, in that room that's not the health room, but it's located somewhere else, for 15 minutes with the student. But the child is going to have to remain in that room. And guess who's going to have to remain in the room with him? The school nurse.
Dr. Massey says one of his biggest concerns with the rapid testing is that it could send a false message to families, thinking they could send their symptomatic kid to the school grounds.
The only problem with that, obviously, if the child is infected with the virus, then that's going to possibly impact other students. If it's on a bus, we end up, quarantining more students because of exposures. As I dug in deeper and talked to the people who actually do the jobs on a daily basis, I have come to the conclusion that we're going to exercise our option not to participate in the program.
In Madison, Dr. Matsey made a point to state that the school district will continue to support DHEC with testing as far as on the school sites as long as it's outside of the school hours. Now, Dr. Matsey also said that when the time comes for vaccination distribution, the district is willing to collaborate with DHEC to conduct those distributions on school sites.
And Jennifer, we know the district also provided an update about plexiglass inside the schools. What did they have to say about that tonight?
Yeah, so he had a lot of information to say about plexiglass tonight, but the district announced that they contracted an additional assembly installation vendor to help the district reach its December 23rd deadline. Now, on that date, the district hopes to have plexiglass installations completed inside of all the elementary schools. Remember, the district has completed the installation inside of one elementary school, that's Aner Elementary thus far. Although some parents say they're in support of the plexiglass installations, some aren't. Horry County parent Justin Yarborough spoke during today's meeting, stating he wasn't on board with the plexiglass installation being put in his child's elementary school and is considering a program change for the spring semester.
And my son saw it on the news, and he was teared up and was upset and said, "Why aren't they putting us in a box?" And my first initial response was just as angry could be. Affecting my son that way is just it's awful. So my first response was to console him.
The Horry County School District is allowing parents to make a program switch for the spring semester, starting first with students who are currently enrolled in the virtual program to make that change into the brick and mortar program. You can find more information about those program switches at WNBFnews.com.
Jennifer Roberts in Horry County tonight. Thank you, Jennifer. This evening, U.S. Congressman Tom Rice hosted a town hall over the phone so people can ask COVID-19 questions with two South Carolina doctors. Chief on the minds of many were who the vaccine would be offered to and the safety of taking it in the first place. Dr. Danielle Shore with MUSC addressed a question asking about any long-term effects found from taking the vaccine. She said that though Pfizer and Moderna's vaccine trials are limited to about 3 months of follow-up data, the good news is that neither of the trials have found any significant serious side effects in those who've taken it. Another point addressed was how pharmacy chains will come into play with distributing the COVID-19 vaccine.
That phase 1A for long-term care residents, all of the distribution allocation are going to be either through CVS or Walgreens for all of our long-term care residents. And in that same vein, they're going to get additional allocation for the general public to get prepared for that phase 1B and 1C.
Now, DHEC also addressed its partnership with CVS and Walgreens in a new update of its vaccine plan. The agency says the program provides start-to-finish management of the vaccine process, including how the vaccine is kept cold, providing supplies for the vaccinations, and making sure the reporting requirements are met. DHEC says it will decide which vaccine will go to the long-term care facilities. It also says the agency will develop plans to vaccinate those who live in South Carolina veterans nursing homes and facilities that are located out of a CVS or Walgreens service area. And WNBF Investigates is tracking updates now in the state's COVID-19 vaccine distribution plan. You can check out our latest stories for those details on WNBFnews.com/forging ahead. Today is the fourth day in a row that South Carolina has seen more than 2,000 new cases. DHEC announced more than 2,400 new cases with a percent positive of 19.4%. 181 cases are in Horry County with a percent positive of 26.5%. 100 new cases are in Florence County and 13 are in Georgetown County. DHEC says 12 more people have died from the virus statewide, including one person in Horry County. More than 50 inmates at the J. Rubin Lawn Detention Center recently tested positive for COVID-19. The Horry County Sheriff's Office says this is the greatest number of confirmed cases they've had during the pandemic. They say none of the inmates are hospitalized and they are in isolation. The Sheriff's Office says it screens inmates before they enter the facility. They say if the person answers yes to certain questions or has symptoms, that they are indeed quarantined. Grand Strand hospitals say they're starting to see more coronavirus patients in the hospitals following the Thanksgiving holiday. Statewide, DHEC says there are more than 1,000 hospitalized coronavirus patients. That is nearly 12% of all patients. Right now, Tylen's Health has 17 COVID-19 patients with an overall hospital capacity of 97%. Conway Medical Center says it has 21 COVID patients with an overall hospital occupancy rate of 74% as of this morning. Both hospitals say they feel more prepared not to deal with the caseload. They urge you to continue to stay vigilant, especially during the holidays. That colder weather is also a growing concern for many health officials. Dr. Anthony Fauci will serve on President-elect Joe Biden's health team as chief medical advisor on COVID-19 to the president. He says the colder weather drives people inside, which is easier to spread coronavirus. And with the recent holiday, he says we're now seeing the impact of Thanksgiving travel and gatherings.
which we still probably are just going to start seeing the brunt of what it means when you have people traveling and congregating in seemingly innocent settings like family and dinners with friends and family and colleagues. Those are the kind of things when the weather gets cold and you're indoors and there's a lot of community spread, it just compounds itself one after the other.
Dr. Fauci says we usually see how an event like Thanksgiving affected the spread of coronavirus about 2.5 weeks after the event. Over 100 new businesses opened their doors in Myrtle Beach, and that was just in the month of November. WNBF News reporter Zach Wilcox checked in with one of the city's newest businesses to see how it's going so far.
Well, Top 10 U.S. Brazil started churning skewers and pizza out of its oven just 2 weeks ago when it opened up, and it's one of 120 businesses in the city of Myrtle Beach that opened just in the month of November alone, and that represents a trend that the city is hoping to keep up, especially to make up for some of the businesses it lost last fiscal year. The city did see a 5% decline in total business licenses in the 2020 fiscal year, which ran from July 2019 through June 2020. Of course, the pandemic hit right in the middle of that stretch. But when the new fiscal year started in July, the city started to really turn a corner. In the first quarter, from July through September, the city saw a 54% increase in new business license revenue.
I think all expectations are off. Anything is possible in this strange environment that we're in right now. I think it's an indication that the businesses, though, are looking for ways to survive. Some have not, and those that have are trying to be creative, and people are looking for opportunities.
The city saw an increase of $1.2 million in its business license revenue in the first quarter of this fiscal year, and that almost made up for the $1.3 million it lost over the course of the entire 2020 fiscal year. In Myrtle Beach, Zach Wilcox, WNBF News.
And then to find out that I had been put at risk in my classroom and I might be bringing that virus into my home where my 73-year-old mother lives, I mean, that's horrific.
The biggest concern some South Carolina teachers have as coronavirus cases rise.
Now, the certified most accurate forecast from First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold.
Well, we did have temperatures earlier today that managed to climb their way towards 56 degrees, but we've been falling fast. Since earlier this evening, skies have cleared out. Those winds have picked up out of the north-northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Dropping those temperatures now, 41 degrees, wind chill currently of 33. And we're going to continue to drop those temperatures all the way down into the low 30s by tomorrow morning. In fact, notice waking up 34 tomorrow morning. That 34, though, likely feeling like 28 to 29 with that breeze continuing. 44 by lunchtime and 49 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow. That's going to be it. The upside of the forecast, a lot brighter than today. Plenty of sunshine as we head all the way through all day tomorrow. As those showers that we had to deal with earlier today have now worked their way out over the Atlantic Ocean. Still a couple of snow flurries here across northeastern North Carolina, but for the rest of us, that dry air continues to move in and will continue to be the case as we head through the rest of this work week with a rain-free forecast and a forecast that will eventually start to turn warmer. Now, as we head through the day tomorrow, there's that northwesterly wind keeping our temperatures chilly. Again, stuck in the upper 40s for high temperatures tomorrow. Tomorrow night continues to be cold, but as we start to move forward towards Wednesday, notice the core of that cold begins to shift its way off to the north. Our temperatures climb into the low 50s. By Thursday, we hit 60, and by the time we head into Friday and into the weekend, notice a southerly wind beginning to blow. That helps to blow in some warmer weather, but also helps to bring in a couple of showers. Not really looking at a big rainmaker as we head towards the weekend, but both Saturday and Sunday will feature at least an outside chance for a stray shower. But look at those temperatures. 66 on Saturday, 67 on Sunday for the Grand Strand. Similar numbers across the PD. And nighttime temperatures much warmer than how we're starting off the week. Those overnight temperatures down to the 50s. Notice those rain chances not overly impressive at just 20 to 30%. So your forecast overnight tonight, again, clear and cold down to 34 degrees, only climbing our way to 49 as we head through tomorrow afternoon with the bright sunshine. And then tomorrow night, we see temperatures another degree or two colder, taking us down to 32. 54 though by Wednesday, 60 on Thursday, and there's those mid-60s from Friday through the weekend, although mostly cloudy at times this weekend with that 20 to 30% chance of a stray shower. Florence tomorrow at 48 degrees, upper 20s though for Tuesday night, but here too by Thursday we hit 60 and then well into the 60s Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
State and town leaders are celebrating the start of a new Surfside Beach Pier. While work on the project started last week, the town held an official groundbreaking today. Mayor Bob Hellyer says he and the town can't wait to have the pier back in working order. He says today is about celebrating the project and thanking everyone who helped to get it this far. Hurricane Matthew destroyed the pier back in 2016, which was the 5th time it was damaged or destroyed. Hellyer says construction will take between 16 and 18 months now. One person is in custody after police say 2 people were robbed at gunpoint in Myrtle Beach. It happened around 1 this morning near 3rd Avenue South and South Ocean Boulevard. Police say the suspects fired a shot and then drove away. Officers used license plate readers and traffic cameras to help find the suspect. They haven't released the person's name at this time, but police say the investigation is ongoing and there could be more arrests. The rise in COVID-19 cases at schools across the Midlands is sparking safety concerns from some Richland 2 teachers. It comes as district officials say they are taking extra steps to keep everyone safe. Gray Media's Emily Wakeman spoke with the superintendent as well as teachers about how the district is handling the pandemic.
Well, many teachers tell me they don't feel safe in the classroom, saying that it's impossible for students and teachers to stay 6 feet apart in the classroom, and it's causing many to have to quarantine due to close contact. Richland 2's COVID-19 dashboard shows that between December 1st through the 3rd, there were 17 new positive cases and 108 close contacts. Richland 2 Superintendent Dr. Baron Davis tells me the district is being cautious and asking anyone who could potentially be a close contact to quarantine. It's led to many students and teachers like Chris Haas, a 2nd grade teacher in Richland 2, having to quarantine and teach virtually. Haas says he's one of hundreds of teachers frustrated by the classroom safety conditions and the disruption that quarantine causes to learning.
I know for a fact there are hundreds of teachers in my school district who are prepared to stop showing up for work if they don't feel like their classrooms are safe places. And if we're not put in a safer position than we are now, I'm not going to be shocked if that happens much sooner than later.
Leaving was a very difficult decision for me. I'm one of those people that was never supposed to quit teaching. I've always wanted to be a teacher.
Ashley Walker says next week will be her last as a teacher at Blythewood High School, saying she resigned over COVID-19 concerns. Richland 2 officials say they've had over 200 teachers resign since March, but that the number of resignations aren't out of the ordinary. Now, Dr. Davis says the district will close a school if 25% of the staff and students have been quarantined or there isn't enough staff to operate the school. But at this time, they have no plans to revert back to phase 1.
A new football head coach for the Gamecocks ahead in sports, what he's looking for as he recruits new players. And you can help us rescue Christmas for families here in our community. Right now on WMBFnews.com, we have how you can adopt an angel from the Angel Tree. You can also shop one of the online registries to send your gift right to the Salvation Army or donate to the Angel Tree program. That's also where you can sign up to be a bell ringer. Just look for Operation Rescue Christmas section on our homepage.
Good evening and welcome back for your sports. It's a new day in Columbia as Shane Beamer was introduced as the 36th head coach in the history of the Gamecock football program. Beamer met with some former players today. Beamer told the Stars of the Past that this is their program and he wants to build a team that will make them proud. The 43-year-old had success as Carolina's recruiting coordinator. 9 of his signees were selected in the NFL draft, including Stephon Gilmore, Alshon Jeffrey, and DJ Swearinger. Beamer says this is his dream job and that he wants to recruit guys who are passionate about being a Gamecock.
To me, guys that want to be here and guys that want to represent this great program and take great pride in being a football player at the University of South Carolina. I told the players yesterday how a core value that is very big with me in my life on and off the field is gratitude, and how grateful I am for this opportunity that's been given to me to be the head football coach here. And I want a team that feels the same way and understands what an amazing opportunity and how special it is to be a Gamecock. That's what I want to begin with, is guys that want to be here.
And recruiting is something Beamer will have to hit the ground running on, with the early signing period kicking off next Wednesday. He'll have to balance that while finishing the season with the Sooners. Most new hires tend to get to work at their new school and their new school only, but loyalty is huge for Beamer.
I have deep relationships with those players at Oklahoma, and I want to be loyal to those guys as well. And I don't want to sweep the rug out from under them and leave them high and dry with 2 weeks left in our regular season with another opportunity to win a Big 12 championship. I didn't think that was the right thing to do. I talked to the players on our team yesterday about trust, about communication, about loyalty, and I didn't think it was fair to me to have that conversation with those guys and then leave these guys high and dry out in Oklahoma.
Now let's finish up on the hardwood. Coastal back in action on this Monday evening, taking on North Carolina Central. The Chants coming in 2-0, however, their first D1 opponent of the season in the Eagles gave them all they could handle. Late in the first half, Abrima Deba with the steal. He hits Tyreek Dixon with a sick behind-the-back pass. He lays it in for 2 of his 16. The Chants up 6 at the half over North Carolina Central. The Eagles would keep it close throughout the second half, though. Devin Palmer pulls up from the wing, knocks down that tray, and that would knot things up at 55 apiece. But Coastal would go on a late game run and start to pull away. Devontae Jones taking it to the rack right here. That's 3 the hard way. Game high 19 on the night for him. The Chants go up 6 in the second half, and they're going to get it done to improve to 3-0 in the season, 78-71 the final. And that's a wrap for your sports. Madison, back to you.
All right, thank you, Gabe. Well, what'll you do when a baby penguin needs to eat? Behind the scenes look at how the newest addition at Ripley's Aquarium is getting his meals. And here are tonight's winning Lucky for Life lottery drawing numbers: 3, 18, 22, 26, 35, and a lucky ball 14. Well, the new penguin chick at Ripley's Aquarium officially has a name. Meet Edgerton. Ripley's staff named him after Edgerton Burroughs, a friend of the aquarium, and they revealed the name on Friday. Edgerton was born October 7th, and staff is helping to raise him in the penguin nursery. Now, if you're curious about how baby penguins are fed, you're not the only one. Grand Strand Today's Hallie Murrow spoke to the aquarium about how it works.
How do you feed a baby penguin? We are learning just that at Ripley's Aquarium of Myrtle Beach today. I'm back with my friend Kristen here. So Kristen, this is really cool. How often, first of all, does a baby penguin eat?
Well, right now he's getting fed 3 times a day, but in the beginning it's more about 4 or 5 times a day. So as he grows, it will get lowered, but right now it's 3 times a day.
So he has hit that 2-month mark, remember, in his age. So 3 times a day. What does a baby penguin eat?
So what he's getting right now is called smelt. It's just pretty much a small lake fish type thing. It is more of a freshwater fish, but he doesn't have to worry about that salt intake because it has enough in it to still give him the salt intake. But he gets roughly 10% of his body weight per feeding, and it's really jumping his growth.
Oh my goodness, I know you said he had grown quite a bit, up to almost 4 pounds now.
Whenever he hatched, he actually was 72 grams, and now he's in the thousands.
So talk to us a little bit about this fish. What is this like for him to actually eat it?
They're roughly the size of my finger. They're not very big. And what happens is he still has to have help with a feeding response as if the parents were feeding him. So we'll take our hands and kind of put him over his beak, and he realizes, oh, I'm gonna get fed, and he'll start opening his beak and getting ready to eat, and we'll just take the fish and let him have it as he goes.
Oh, he is so cute, Kristen. So as he gets older, how will this feeding process change for him?
He's actually soon gonna be put on what's called capelin, which is a bigger fish. It's actually what our colony gets every day, twice a day. So he's gonna start getting capelin in the next couple days, and we're gonna introduce it to him. You gotta do it kind of slowly just to make sure he's digesting it properly. So most likely the next couple days he's gonna start getting that capelin.
This is such a fun process to be a part of. Kristen, thank you so much for sharing with us.
All right, I'm going to be feeling right at home around here with these chilly temperatures here as we head through the day Tuesday. Sitting at 41 right now, but notice dropping into the 30s here as we head through the next hour. Working our way towards daybreak tomorrow morning. 34 wind chills, though, going to make it feel like the upper 20s and not really getting a whole lot better heading into tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures climbing their way just to 44 as we head towards lunchtime, 49 for a high temperature tomorrow. But notice the temperature trend. starting to turn things around. 54 by Wednesday, 60 by Thursday, and well up into the 60s Friday into the weekend.
All right, and that's all our time here at 11. You can get updates tomorrow morning on WMBF News Today starting at 5. And for updates anytime, WMBFnews.com. Have a great night.